Hey there, viewers. Welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. That's a 2014 Jeep Patriot, I believe it is. It's got the big 2.4. It's got two VVTs. Whatever that means. Whatever it is, it's got two of them, so that's good. Customer complaint is this thing starts hard. Battery's only a year old. Long story short, today's Monday. I come by the shop Sunday. Saw it out there, knew it was coming in today and had some kind of battery complaint. So I wanted to bring it in to make sure the battery was charged and up to snuff so this morning we could do our testing. When I was out there yesterday, of course I had to jump it, got in it, cranked like a half a crank and then just clicks, that was it. Jumped it, fired up, starter sounds absolutely horrendous. So I think we got two problems. I tested the battery this morning. Well, I left it on a charger, 2 amps, and it was fully charged this morning. Came in, had a huge surface charge on it, which was weird. Turned the headlights on, battery acted real strange. You know, voltage dropped right off. It cranks the engine, but battery tested bad. So we're gonna put a battery in, but I think we're gonna put a starter in it too. I pulled that cover off because I want to disable the coils. And we want to crank it over. I just want you guys to hear what the starter sounds like. I want to hear what the starter sounds like. Oh, that was not epic. There we go. So we'll get these unplugged so we can just sit there and crank it. Get a good listen. I don't know how much the battery will have in it. I've started it once this morning. Of course, it sat inside. It stays about 50 in the shop over the weekend. Okay, let's just crank it here so we have a good reference. Show you what she sounds like. Reach in here. Contact. I don't know what that's going to sound like on camera, but IRL, it sounds terrible. It sounds like it was just petering out there. Let's get the battery out of there. Let's get our air box out of here, this little tube. I think the starter comes out in this fashion. We'll just leave this unhooked and we'll take care of some stuff. Ooh, that stinks. Oh, I can smell battery. That's what I smell. Okay, it's got that sulfury, something's gonna blow up type smell. Here's my test results from this morning, printed out all official. Let's see, we tested it at 12.56 volts. It dropped down to 11.24, not bad. The starter was drawn 236 amps, but the battery tested out at 59 degrees, 318 cold cranking amps out of the 525 that was advertised. And then of course you can see the current draw tests and things like that. So that's it. Just wanted to share that with you. Seems like recently we've been seeing a lot of these die-hard silvers, which I think in the one video we checked and they come from the Advance Auto here local, and I think it's their 1-year warranty battery. And he said this battery's about a year old, so I guess that would make sense. Boy, they got that dialed in, don't they? Yeah. In this climate, I cannot see the need for a cheap battery. We're gonna take this post off. They've got this kind of cobbled up here. Yeah, one thing you want around here for sure: good batteries, good tires. Let's grab a 13 mil. I think that's what it is down on this hold down. Looks pretty crusty, but shouldn't only be about a year old. And see if we can't get that yanked out. Long-winded old sucker. So that came out, so that's good. And we'll just pull this. See how our pull-out game is. Super strong, it looks like. We're out. And get the wedgie. Ooh. Do we gotta take that battery box out? Please tell me we don't need to take that battery box out. Must be the last battery leaked in there. That is terrible. I don't think we do, but let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I don't know if that even has to come out. Yikes. Well, I tell you what, let's leave that alone and get this air intake tube off. See if that helps us at all. There's that. We'll grab an 8 mil. They got one down on the throttle body too, don't they? Yes, sir. Get on this one. All right, we got both of those. These usually have a wire clip down there. If it's not in, that means somebody else has previously worked on it. Do we need to take anything else out? Well, it would be more convenient with the battery tray out and stuff out of our way, but given the circumstance, we're gonna leave that alone and try to do a little fishing. This is probably not the best video for me to try and record with you folks. Not a lot of good viewing space down here. Well, let me rearrange some stuff. See if we can't, man, it stinks bad. Holy cow, that battery stinks. It's all I can smell is sulfur. It's very, very strong. You know, like when you bring in a battery that's totally dead and you really do set the charger to nuclear and it actually boils, that's what it smells like. It's very, very strong. It makes me sneezy. Probably shouldn't be breathing it. But we gotta do what we gotta do. So we're gonna unplug this intake tuning valve, or tumbler, or rudder control valve. I don't know which style it is. Doesn't matter. We'll get that unplugged. There is a purge line, I think it is here, runs across. I think that'll be okay. We're gonna get something to hold this up out of the way, a zip tie perhaps. Let's do that and get after it, boys. We'll go right around the fuel line here with Mr. Twisty. I don't know what these things are. Mrs. O picked them up a while ago at the Walmart. They were like at that, you know, the crap they put by the cash register that's like, you know, a nickel. And you don't want to lose money, so you buy it. Just, I don't know. They're super handy. I've had them for a long time. These things have taken a beating. And I think I'm down to just a couple left. But yeah, they're handy. I use them all the time. I hang drive shafts with them, mufflers, stuff out of the way. You name it. I don't even know what they're called. Little bendy thingies. The classic bendy thingy. All right, there's that. I think we need to remove the throttle body. I know we've got to take that bracket off. Let's just, we're gonna leave the throttle body hooked up at this point. We'll take the bracket off from it. It'd be awesome if that hose was out of the way. So it looks like we need a 10 mil, a 13. Man, it's really plugging up my nose. Let's see. 10, there we go. There's a 13, a 15, a 10. Let's use the 13 because we have it right here in our hands. Get this bracket here. What's a big long one? That might actually be one of the starter bolts. I'm not, no, I can't be. I don't think so. We got a 10 right here in our hands still. I don't know if we can get it without an extension. Got that one. Barely got that one. Those are probably wood screws. Your classic wood screw / plastic screw would be my guess. Nope, they're regular. Regular 6 mil fasteners. That's the bracket. All right, so you got a couple of that goes through the throttle body. And then you had your 13 all up in that joint. All right, so that's all we can do for right now. I think we're gonna finish taking the throttle body off. I'm pretty sure it's gonna have to come out of the way. We'll just leave it plugged in, let her swing. There's one. There's two. Got the 2 bolts on. It's basically the same 2 bolts we just took out of that bracket. And we're just gonna leave the bolts in it. Oh, the tool just got done updating. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of freaking oil in that intake. Let's grab a hanky. It's probably because we only started it once today. The whole intake straight full of oil. PCV gas. Need the catch can, man. Oof. That was all laying in the bottom of the intake, or, you know, in that. She's still down in there. You nasty, girl, you nasty. All right, we're just gonna leave that in there. Don't forget it. Although it probably would eat that just fine. We need a short 15. Stand by, we'll grab that. Got it. See if we can neutral drop these two. Negative on that one. Oh boy. There's that one. That bottom one, we need to get a little bit of an extension. So I grabbed a shorty. This is our ground cable. That's our ground stud. That's the top starter bolt. All right, we'll have to clean that up a little bit. Always clean your grounds. It's the first time I've ever said that. Clean your grounds, man. Especially if you don't know what's wrong with your car. Right? Wrong. That's what they say. That's what the internet says. There's that one. That's our bottom starter bolt. Huzzah. Okay, is that the same as the top one lengthwise? They're equal. They're equals. Now, we need to get this bad mamma jamma out of there and unhook the wires, which should be long enough. Man, freaking elbows. I got some tinnitus in my elbow. Man, it is just murder on my right arm. Getting old sucks. You gotta do that once in a while. Just feel that tendon freaking snapping up and over the side there, boy. Gives me the shakes. It starts to hurt too much. Yeehaw. Okay, there's that. There's our purge line. Now what do we do? Come on, Rocco. Oh, flip that bad boy right around. Look at that. Our engineers at Chrysler were so kind as to give us enough wire. That's pretty nice. They usually kind of fall in suit with GM. Let's make these wires so it just doesn't quite come out of there. We're going to try to unhook that. And that's really not working, so we're going to grab a 13. Neutral drop the electrical connector. Full neutral drop. A couple wires there in the starter. Sandwiched together. Looks pretty clean. There, and to push the button. So we can see the wire going down from the solenoid into the starter motor. Oftentimes these are rotted out. Well, when that rots out, you get a bunch of the click, 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 and nothing happens. Well, that's that. Put on glasses in case of explosion. This way at least saves your eyeballs. Grab the smallest gauge wire you can get. Wedge that up in there. she's picking up speed. There she goes. Oh, that thing got toasty. You could hear it kind of freeing up whatever that bearing is in the end of that shaft that was making all that racket. Hopefully you can hear that on the camera. But boy, it got the end of the starter motor pretty toasty. But you could hear that kind of free up and then start to spin. Alright, well, we're still waiting on Napper to get here with the battery and such. We need to make sure our connections are clean and very tight. We're going to modify this one slightly, being it's already been modified. Flatten that little guy back out. Best we can, because I believe the hole spacing on these, yeah, it's the same as these here, right? Pretty rootin' tootin' close, that way we can just have them on each side here. I'm gonna take and just nick those off, get that one cleaned up, get our negative cleaned up, get the positive they had on there, get that cleaned up. Make sure our starter connection down here where they're laminated together, we'll wiggle these apart if we can. If we can't, we'll have to open them up because I see some green growing in there. Make sure this fusible link, whatever it runs, probably a lot. Yeah, we're gonna have to open that up a little bit because there is some green crusties in here. I don't like it when they sandwich these two together. Oh, okay, it's not too bad, just a lot of green on the outside. So we'll get them cleaned up, make sure they're all good in the neighborhood. And then that ground wire where that attaches to the top of the starter. And then we wait. Brand new reman from Napper. Looks good, it's shiny anyway. So that's good. Cables are cleaned up. They're gonna go in that fashion, make sure we have them going the right direction. If I am going in the right direction, I gotta either replay the video or take a wild guess. That one's going there. I just want to make sure they're laying correctly. Going there. Gonna face out that direction. They're gonna end up like that, like so. Got them cleaned up, greased up. Everybody should be happy. Make sure you put both the battery cables on there. Alright, is that gonna be right? I believe so. Get our solenoid wire here. We got to get that under that purge hose. It's supposed to be hot out today on the way to work. Well below zero. We get -9 on the way in. It's supposed to get all the way up to 27. It's gonna be awesome. 30-some degree temperature swing. Woo! All right, that's torqued to factory spec on camera even. We don't usually do that. We're gonna try to keep that from rotting right off before the starter motor goes bad. We're making a lot of assumptions. We're assuming this starter motor is even good. Which when you get reman stuff, it works 50% of the time, every time. Typically. feed that little guy back under the intake here. Push, push, push. Just kind of shove it in there. Frick, dude. Man, I'm feeling a little hypoglycemic. It's only 10 o'clock. Come on, baby. You mother lover. The knock sensor right there. You don't want to just go smashing it in here. Come on, man. Gotta have a look. It's pretty tight to the old knock sensor. What the frig, dude? Do our wires not point up like that? So let's go off to the side. Now I feel like an idiot. Now I feel like a real idiot. Gotta go that way because it's a freaking flat part of the solenoid. It's the only way they can go because it's got a locator tab on each side. All right, let me look at the other starter. I'm like darn 32, sure, yeah. So there's a locator on each side of those wires that fits around the solenoid, so it can't go the other way. Okay. I want to make sure. So you don't want to go breaking it. Wiring harness in there, knock sensor, such. Oh, I'm shaking so damn bad. Come on, man. Push this harness down a little so I can get the starter over. Come on, dude. There we go. Let's have to reach in and push down on the starter to push that harness down so we could clear the knock sensor. Come on, baby. All right, now before we button that up, let's make sure we didn't accidentally do any damage. We didn't do damage, but you know what I did? I knocked the frickin' solenoid wire off. That wouldn't be great. Let me get that up and around here on top. Let's make sure. Yeah, spread the thing. Let's hit the edge of it. Oh, I see it popped the clip open here. Broke the plastic or something. Let me see what that feels like. I want to pull the starter back out if we don't have to. Let me get that behind this wiring harness. That could be the problem. Probably pulled on it. Okay, so we're behind that harness. See if I can feel around here. Another harness right in the way. Okay, that goes up here on the side. Just doing her by feel. Nope, I don't like it. It slides right on, but it slides right off. Yeah, it's not clipping in anymore. I must have done something to it. Let's pull the plastic bits off here. See what I did. Must have spread it somehow. I don't know as if it really needs this plastic protector on there, if we're being perfectly honest. I did clean this out with Deoxit because I thought I saw little green crusties in there, so probably wouldn't hurt to open this up anywho. We're gonna hold off on buttoning up the starter for just a moment, just to make sure here. Come on, bruh. Okay, dude. Dude, when I get shaky like this, I can't function. Usually it happens around lunchtime, you know, you get the big insulin dump with your body just anticipating to take in some food, but I did eat breakfast. I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning. What the world? Tell you what, we're just gonna... It's not super duper important. This thing has a plastic cover on it, so we're just gonna pop this sucker off. At the end of the day, we need to have a good connection. Piss pot. Everybody close your eyes for a minute. Look away. Okay, now you can look again. So this one came in, it didn't have the plastic cover on it. They've seen that before. All right, yeah, so let's spread the terminal a little bit there. Give it a little squeeze, just a little bit of a pinch. The terminal looks nice and clean. Kind of surprised. It has our goo on it. We put goo on it. This is a locking terminal, so I want to leave it on there. Looks like the lock tab is still good. Make sure it's pushed up there. That's good. Nothing behind the intake can hit that anyhow. So I'm not super worried about it being exposed. I just need to know that it latches on. That's the important part. Let's see if I can't get it here. There we go, finally. Gosh, you'd think a guy who had 3 kids could do this without looking. Oh, it's very tight. I can tell. Because the connector's made of gold. So make sure she's not right where it needs to be. Wow, that took way too long, dude. All right, that looks very good. Wow. Hopefully the rest of the week isn't gonna go like this. I'm gonna get the bottom starter bolt started. We need to start the starter. Classic rookie mistake. I did not check to make sure the bolts would start in the starter before putting the starter in. With a reman product, it's usually what you want to do. I'm gonna very gingerly, lightly. Get off there. All right, that one we're gonna leave loose. It started, thankfully. I had to earn about a thread. You never know with reman stuff, man. I've seen them come in with no threads, strip threads, cross threads, helicoils, you name it. We're gonna grease up our ground here. It's very gooey. Put this bolt in there, up in there. Wrong hole, dude. Man, this guy is not winning. Next one down. There you go, fella. You're learning. Won't do that one, just click. There we go. What I'll do is I'll come back with a torque wrench. I mean, you guys know it. We'll torque that all to factory spec, but right now, pull that baby out. It's an O-ring style gasket. You want to make sure it's protruding above the flat, and this one is. That one actually looks fairly new. Take out our 2 bolts out of our throttle body here. Clean the oil and junk off the back of it. Go like that for good luck. Ooh, so it's got the Van Halen wings on it. I'm surprised that thing works. Dorman throttle body. Huh, and it works. Hopefully we didn't jinx it. I don't know if I'd buy one of their throttle bodies in a million years. However, I will mention this, if we're here, as long as you don't tell anybody, they do make bushings for the rear knuckles on the late model Cherokees. I don't like that bolt. I like that one. That one threads right in. But they make these bushing, 3-piece bushing kits. The knuckle from Dodge, $700. Insane. These things go bad all the time. So I've been using the Dorman bushing kits, and they've been working well. I've been using them for a while now. I think it fits 2014 to 2022s, something like that. Saves our customers a ton of money. Some stuff Dorman makes is okay, but I definitely wouldn't trust any of their electronics, I'll tell you that. Okay, those ones started good. I'm gonna get this bolt back in this bracket. Make sure that's started. That's started. I don't like this bottom bolt. It goes in about 5 or 6 threads and then it just feels funny. Yeah, let me get a ratchet because it definitely starts. And I mean, we took it out. I think we're good. So I'll double check these by hand. There she goes, long-winded little guy. Yeah, when you're tightening stuff in plastic, yeah, be cautious if you're using your power tools there. it would be my suggestion to not to, you know, run them down till they're almost tight, and then come through with your torque wrench here and give it the final hoo-ha. Go through, make sure these are snug, and we're putting these just under torque spec. And then we'll come through with the actual torque wrench. That bushing bolt there already tightened up. What's up, Mrs. O?
The vehicle on Josh's lift
needs
rear brake pads and rotors.
Yes.
Just wondering, is the one place that gets them out of Batavia, if it says Batavia, does that mean
I always call and ask.
today or tomorrow?
I always call and ask. We can't get them from Napper, not a sponsor.
Not today.
Not today. No, they don't have them in Buffalo? Cornell, Corning?
Yeah, but it said
Addison?
tomorrow for Buffalo.
Call my guy, Dave.
Oh.
You call my guy. Tell him you know me. I don't know what that'll do for you. Sometimes the midday delivery stuff can be confusing. Okay, there we go. That's plugged up. Got one more plug up here. Unhook our twisty thingy. I don't remember what we called it initially. Oh, just like that. Just like that. Get that out of the way. But yeah, if you ever see these at the Walmart, they usually have the ends on them. I use these things for hanging calipers for years and years ago, I think, in our videos. I did see the clip down there. It's not broken, so we're going to put that back in. Even though it's an aftermarket throttle body. He's losing points at the show for that, but he's going to lose points for the battery cable anyway. And the aftermarket starter, but the judges probably wouldn't see that if we're being honest. But you never know when you're neck and neck with the guy beside you for best in show. It's things like that make or break it. Most original. I don't know what category he shows this in. But you want to be ready. Dreams are shattered over stuff like that. There's that. Huzzah. Now, we've got this part. We're putting in the new battery part. Let's go grab that. Oh, James, brand new NAP or AAA. You know, it's kind of funny. Every time I get a customer that comes in that has a, really cheap, crappy battery, they never, ever hesitate to buy the good battery. Ever. I don't think I've ever had one question like, oh gosh, that battery's expensive. Or, something like that. So why did they buy the crappy one to begin with? That's what I want to know. I think at the first point their battery went dead, they were probably as equally as frustrated as they are right now. So I don't think it's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the theory behind it. Maybe you guys can enlighten me. Give me your thoughts on that. Now I've already spread this terminal apart. It must be a universal one. If you don't know this, your battery positive terminal is larger than your battery negative terminal. So sometimes these temporary, never get changed, always end up permanent ends are universal. One size fits all, so to speak. If I had to give that a rough translation, it means it fits both, but doesn't fit either one well. That's what that translates to in English. So we're all the way down against that washer. That takes a 1/2 inch. I just use some ring spreaders. Now I do have an actual terminal spreading tool, which I already took care of. That's why we went that route. So there you go. That's one thing you can learn from this lesson. Try to make battery starter videos fun. But by golly, we've had a ton of them this year. I haven't recorded all of them, but for many weeks now, our days have been consumed with slow start, no start, those types of complaints. That one's a 10 mil. She's all the way down. I'm gonna grab a 10, grab a 1/2 inch. We're gonna grab the bolt. We're gonna grab the little hold down here. That's got this side up. Slip that bad jammer down in there. Guide me all the way in. And before we stick this little fella in there, we're gonna give her a spritz of the fluid film. Line her up straight. Big long extension. Where's my shorty? There she is. 13 mil. Double torque clicks. Ooh, that'd get you right there, old son. Little socket. What do we got here? It looks like 10 mil, staring us right in the eyeballs. Flush very tight. What do we got here? The 1/2 inch variety. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. That's still all unhooked. Moment of truth. What's this bad boy sound like? We're gonna keep it going live, no cuts. No cuts. Now, typically, these things are kind of whiny, but it shouldn't be as whiny as the old one. Contact. Piece of frick, man. God, I hate aftermarket. I am so fed up with this effing industry. I'm very calmly going to remove that starter, and then we're going to order another one, because this is what we do every fucking day. Every day this shit happens. Every part, OEM, aftermarket. This is it, man. This is why I've got a $5,000 AC machine outside in about 17 pieces, because I fucking had it. I've had enough. I've had enough of this industry. I've had enough of this crap, this shit parts. I've just had it, man. I'm about ready to lose my cool. Okay, let's order more starters. Let's see if we can order 15 or 20 of them for the afternoon. So that's it, folks. That's how it works in the automotive aftermarket. Whether we're buying OEM motors and trainees that are shit right out of the crate, or we're getting aftermarket starters that are junk right out of the box, you get to see it here. And that's just how it is. That starter is junk. And engaged, what, one time. And I was hoping it was just a fluke in the beginning. That's why I did a little pause and said, contact. Just hoping in my little mind, but knowing at the same time that it was junk. And it's super, super, super frustrating because we get to do all of our jobs over and over and over again, and nobody pays for it. Napa's not going to pay for this. They're going to tell me to pound sand. Oh, you did it wrong, this and that. And that's just how it is. These companies suck. Napa sucks. Standard Motor Products sucks. All of them suck. The OEMs suck. Like, you just fill in a blank. And none of them care. Just a bunch of big fat cat faceless companies that just leech money off us and you and just laugh all the way to the bank. But what choice do we have? You know, I can buy this one. I can buy another. I got a different brand coming, a Vision starter. You know, just like pick them. We could order one from Chrysler, but they're all just junk remans anymore. They're Magneti Morelli and they're B Pro Auto and all the crap that the dealer sells now. They're trying to compete with, you know, the race to the bottom with all this other aftermarket crap. So it's all junk. It's frustrating because, you know, the customers don't understand, but this is just the crap we deal with. So anyhow, stand by. When you come back, we'll try round 2 to see how the FMP Vision starter does. And if that one doesn't work, we'll try from Advance. And if that one doesn't work, we'll get one from AutoZone. If that one doesn't work, we'll get one on the internet. Just like, you play the stupid game, folks. You play the stupid game. Welcome to my world. Misery likes company, right? I think that's what they say. So Jason, you guys remember Jason, SMA's most eligible bachelor. Well, he works kind of for himself. Works sublets through another shop. It's long story, doesn't really matter. But he wrote me thing here just a couple minutes ago. It says, hey Eric, you're not going to believe this. That mother effing GM transmission I put in that Tahoe just left the lady stranded in Williamsport. 350 miles on it. It goes from first to neutral when it shifts. I'd like to cram it up someone's rear end. We just footed the $750 tow bill to get it back here. Installed new lines and new cooler with the transmission. So he got 350 miles on his, and his shop got shafted $750 for the tow bill, which he will not get reimbursement for. And that is the majority of the profit on that whole job. He's $100 an hour. Book time on those is 8.6. That's $860. And on those transmissions, if you're selling them at GM retail price, we only get a $200 discount on them. So there's that. He's left with a $250 profit off his job. And the good news is he gets to redo it again. And GM's going to pay him half the labor rate. So there's that. We could go on about this all day. Let's fire this thing up. I've just plugged stuff back in because at this point I've got to move on to other jobs. There we go, yeehaw! That's that, folks. I want to hear your war stories. We've heard them 100 times though, because this is nothing new. And it's very unfortunate. And hella annoying. One thing I'm not going to get annoyed with is going down in that comment section though and reading your comments. Find us on the Insta, the Facebook. Just remember viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.